everybody, and welcome back to Is It Kino? I am your host, MUMKEY Jones.
And I am E-Rich, as always.
And you guys are in for quite the special treat tonight, because boy howdy, it is 2018, and E-Rich and I saw a shit ton of movies in 2017 that maybe we didn't get around to Is It Kinoing about, so we're gonna do a big 2017 catch-up wrap-up, where we very briefly and succinctly talk about and review every movie that we saw that we didn't podcast about. E-Rich,
holy shit.
And we did not both see all of these movies. These are going to be a lot of movies that only I've seen, a lot of movies only E-Rich has seen. E-Rich, how many movies do you have just on your own list right now?
Let me pull it up. While I'm doing that, you tell me how many you've got.
All right, well, I want to, and we're not sponsored by MoviePass, but I really, really wish we were, because it's probably my favorite thing that's happened to me in the last 22 years of my life. It might be the best. And one of the best qualities is that it has a viewing history that tells you the date of and what movie, like every single movie you saw and what day you saw it on. So pretty much anything that I saw in 2017 before the month of September, I will not be discussing on this because I don't remember what the fuck I saw. But luckily, there's plenty of stuff in my viewing history. I've probably got like a good 12 movies that I'm gonna spout off for you.
All right. So I have counted them all. I have seen 64 movies in the theater this year.
Oh shit, that's fucking impressive. That's more than one every week.
Although possibly one or two of these were streaming, or I rented it off Redbox or something. So who fucking knows?
Well, it sounds like you have more than me, so I guess you go first.
All right.
And folks at home, we don't know how long this is going to go. It'll either be the longest episode of Is It Kino, or we'll break it up into multiple episodes. Who knows? But we're going to Kino about them all, baby.
All right. So the first one I've got here that I don't think we talked about, it was probably before we started our current Is It Kino run, is Split. Did you see Split?
I did see Split.
Yeah, so Split was a kind of pseudo-sequel to the movie Unbreakable. M. Night Shyamalan has kind of made a somewhat of a comeback, and I liked Split as a good showcase for James McAvoy, who I think is one of the best working actors in Hollywood right now. I think he's probably the best part of it. The girl in this movie, who I really love in The Witch, she does a good job too, but James McAvoy is kind of the main event here. And his ability to portray, like, I guess 6 or 7 in the movie different personalities all in one person is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that the movie's a bit of a blue ball, where in the trailers they say, oh, this guy has 30 crazy personalities. And then in the movie, you see 4 of them. But those 4 are pretty distinct personalities that he pulls off, and he transitions between them in a very impressive way. And it was a great feat of acting on his part.
Yeah.
As far as the girls, I will say that M. Night Shyamalan knew what he was doing, because one girl ends up with her shirt off and one girl ends up with her pants off, and it just so happens the one with the nicer tits takes off her shirt, and the black girl with the nice ass takes off her pants. He knew what he was doing. When he... I might have that. Yeah. I might have it mixed up, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened in that movie.
And like came back and he had a good idea of what he wanted to see: tits and ass.
I will say I have never seen Unbreakable, but the ending of the movie, even though I didn't know what was going on, I suddenly saw Bruce Willis, and it left room for a sequel. And even that alone got me a little hype. Like, ooh, okay. Like this movie was. It was hit or miss for me, but it was enjoyable enough that I would like to see this character come back and fight Bruce Willis. So I'm on board for Unbreakable 8 or whatever it's going to be called.
Good news, because M. Night Shyamalan has finished filming the sequel to this.
Oh, shit.
That has Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson and James McAvoy.
Oh, fuck.
And the woman. Yeah, it is going to be the fucking trilogy ender, I guess.
Was Sam Jackson in Unbreakable?
Yes, he was.
Oh, so maybe I should watch that before we go into the third one.
You should watch Unbreakable, you should watch Split again, and then we should watch... I forgot what... I think the next one's called Glass, because Samuel L. Jackson plays a character called Mr. Glass.
Oh my... Okay, hey, we got to move on to the next one. Even that was too long. Okay, I'm going to tell you the exact date of these movies.
All
And
right.
I don't think we reviewed this one because I would have remembered. On September 13th, I saw a movie called Wind River. Did you see that one?
I did not, but I do have that on my I wanted to see it list.
So, Wind River stars Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen of Avengers fame. And I'm a big
Mm-hmm.
fan of Elizabeth Olsen because I want to have sex with her. So that's
Yeah,
why I went and saw
me
this
too.
movie. And the movie
Yep.
is actually it's a great little mystery detective story
Mm-hmm.
about these two characters, and they do detective stuff, and they fight hillbillies, and then the mystery is like, whoa, what? And then I think Jeremy Renner was like tracking a bear or something, and then
Huh.
he like tortures a guy, and
Huh.
they
Interesting.
put in good performances, and I liked
Uh,
the movie.
oh,
that's
very
that's
good.
my review.
Is Elizabeth Olsen sexy in it?
No, because they're out in the middle of like a snowstorm, so she's always covered up in like 18 layers of clothes.
Oh
So
shit!
she
All
doesn't
right, all
really
right.
show off anything. But I think a Native American girl gets raped. So if you want to see some of
Oh
that,
shit!
you can watch that.
Yeah, that's right up my alley. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm adding that to my Netflix queue as we speak.
Okay, what you got next?
So I have the the threequel movie that I have not seen the first two in the series, but was absolutely
Cars
delighted to
3.
see this third. Nope.
Despicable Me
Triple X
3.
Return of Sander Cage. I love this movie. I love this movie so goddamn much. I have never seen a Triple X movie. I have not seen the first one that Vin Diesel was in. I have not seen the second one that Ice Cube was in. But this movie was such a goddamn delight. Because here's the deal: Triple X is basically Vin Diesel's OC Donut Steel character. It's basically like a fan fiction where Vin Diesel can do whatever the fuck he wants, and everybody has to bow down to him and say how awesome Vin Diesel is. And that's exactly what this movie is. It's so fucking hilarious.
So it's like a so bad that it's good.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if you like bad movies or you like movies that are over the top constantly, yeah, yeah, that's this.
All right, on September 14th, I saw a movie called The Hitman's Bodyguard. Did you see that one?
I did see that one.
Okay, speaking of Sam Jackson, it's got Sam Jackson and Ryan Reynolds in like a sort of a buddy movie where they're not really buddies, but then they become buddies, and
Mm-hmm.
it's plenty funny. It's a fun movie. I thought that some of the directing was kind of they made some poor choices in that a lot of the shots were pretty flat, and at some points I couldn't even tell what was really going on. But I
Yeah.
recall having a bit of fun with that one. What do you think?
This movie is a decent movie that is just like 2 or 3% away from being a great movie or a good movie at least. Like you got Samuel Jackson, you got Ryan Reynolds. These are two actors who are very good at the thing that they do, and that's being quick witted and funny. And Samuel Jackson usually swears a lot. It's decent. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, there's an action scene with like a speedboat that goes on for about 15 minutes too long,
Mhm.
but like when it's just the two characters quipping off of each other and being assholes to each other, the movie's it's great.
Yeah, yeah. So if you want to see Samuel Jackson and Ryan Reynolds do shit together, that movie's for you.
Yeah, okay. What you got next?
All right, let's see here. I saw a movie called The Red Turtle. Have you ever heard of this?
No, what is that?
Well, it's about a guy who's on an island and then a red turtle comes to him and it's a woman, but then the woman turns into a red turtle and he fucks the turtle. The end. I think he fucks
Okay.
the woman and she turns into a turtle, but technically speaking, he fucked a turtle. This is a very good animated movie.
It's a
It,
cartoon?
yeah, it's a cartoon. I
Okay.
don't know whether it's Japanese animated. I don't fucking know. I
I'm
don't
guessing
remember.
it's Japanese.
This is at the beginning of the goddamn year, so I can't remember shit.
God, you're all the way back in January still, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah, I am.
Fuck.
I'll be skipping a lot of shit pretty soon because a lot of
Okay.
these we already covered. Yeah, I mean it's a very kind of soulful, very slow, methodical movie. But if you like well done animated movies, I think you'll like The Red Turtle.
All right, on September 19th, I saw a movie called Home Again, which is not a movie for me. I am not anywhere near the target audience.
Yeah.
But it stars Reese Witherspoon, who is one of my waifus, so I had to go see it. And also the guy who played Light in the Death Note movie, he's in this too. And of those two movies, this is the better one that he was in, and this one also is not that good. So it's been a bad year for Nat, whatever his name is. I was going to say Nat Turner, but his name in Death Note is Light Turner, so I think I'm fucking... I think his name's Nat Wolff. He's the kid from Naked Brothers Band, I think.
You're right, it is Nat Wolff.
Home Again is a movie that your mom would probably like. It's about a woman in her 40s who has a 25-year-old hot guy fall in love with her, and then they have like a weird relationship, and then her ex-husband comes into the picture, and it's all sorts of complicated, but... The young guy and his two friends want to make it in Hollywood, and then they move into her guest house because her mom invites them, and then they're friends with her kids, and it's just like, it's just 2 hours of just watching these people's lives and all these strange relationships, and there's not really any like big story structure other than they're all just living in the same proximity and that the two characters want to fuck. It's not a great movie, but I enjoyed it for what it was, and I understand that it wasn't for me, and I want to fuck Reese Witherspoon.
I also agree with that. I did not see this movie. Based off what you said, I do not want to see it.
Yeah,
so,
don't. There's no reason for anybody to ever see this movie. It's not very good.
You know what I say when I hear the title "Home Again"?
What?
To market, to buy a fat pig. Home again, jiggity jig. That's it.
What stupid fucking weeb shit are you quoting?
It's a fucking nursery rhyme for the English people.
What movie did you watch in February?
I Am Not Your Negro. This is a very good documentary. If you dislike black people, do not. Because it's all about how it sucks to be black people.
Yeah.
It's based on this author, James Baldwin. He wrote a lot of great literature and essays and stuff like that, and basically it just uses his essay outline to basically recontextualize around recent events and Black Lives Matter and all that shit. If you're interested in seeing how black people have been portrayed in media and how that kind of echoes into the future and the present and all that stuff, see this movie. It's very well made.
Would the director of that film think that Cuphead is racist?
See, I don't know. I don't think that they would care about Cuphead because it's a video game, but possibly.
You'd be fucking surprised, dude. A lot of people think Cuphead is racist.
That makes me angry.
Yeah,
Cuphead
it makes me
racist.
angry too. Okay, well, if you want to watch some documentary about blacks, I guess just go to my backyard. You know what I'm saying? I got some slaves. That's my edgy joke, guys. You guys like my? Did we talk about the movie Stronger starring Jake Gyllenhaal?
We did not, although I am interested in any Jake Gyllenhaal.
Did you didn't see this one then?
No, I didn't. No.
So it's the true story about the Boston bombing, the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
And you remember that picture that was all over 4chan and then other places of like the guy with like you see his bone sticking out because his fucking leg got blown off.
Yeah,
it's the story of that guy played by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Wait, that guy in that picture got a movie made about him.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have to assume it's him because not too many people got their legs blown off. Not that, I mean, the bomb wasn't very big.
Yeah.
But the plot of the movie is that Jake Gyllenhaal's character is like straight up just a huge fucking asshole, and he's mean to everybody. And they do not try to hide it at all. Like this character is a dick. And then the one time he tries to do something nice by showing up to his friend's marathon run, he gets the shit blown out of him. So he learns the lesson: don't ever be nice. And then they have really good special effects. And Jake Gyllenhaal Jake Gyllenhaal always gives a phenomenal performance. That's why he's probably he's in my top 3 actors for sure. But like that he still has his leg. But first of all, the CGI is so good at hiding it. And second, his performance, there's no way I can imagine him having that leg because he's so good at pretending that he doesn't. And like just the struggle of him trying to maneuver himself from like the toilet to the shower, and like he's straining so much and putting in so much just pain in his. Oh man, it's so good. I would say this movie's pretty great, and I wouldn't say I loved it, but I loved Jake Gyllenhaal in it, and it's touching, but I'm not really into that touchy feel good. Oh, you can overcome anything, but the movie kind of spits in the face of that a bit because people are like coming up to him like, oh man, you can do anything, you're so strong. And he's like, I'm not fucking strong, look at me, I'm half a man now. And I like that it kind of turns that concept on its head and kind of spits in its face a bit. But I don't remember if the ending then spits it right back and says, no, he is stronger, look at him.
So I'm always kind of split on performance movies because there's basically one reason to watch the movie, and it sounds like in this case it's Jake Gyllenhaal and his ability to kind of embody this character. Do you think the movie's worth it just to see Jake Gyllenhaal?
Oh yeah, I think that the movie's.
Okay.
I think even if a different actor was in the role, the movie's pretty good. I like
Okay.
everything about it.
All right. Cool.
All right, what you got?
Okay. So I've got here. Did we talk about Get Out?
No, we didn't. I don't think we
Okay.
did.
I've got Get Out on here, and Monkey, get the fuck out. Did you see this movie?
I did see Get Out.
Yeah. So what did you think?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I don't get the everybody saying, "Oh man, you gotta nominate it for Best Picture, dude." I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I don't know. The movie itself was like right between horror and comedy, and like it doesn't really have a consistent tone. Like there's that one comic relief character who's just like doing a stand-up routine on the phone for 5 minutes. But otherwise, I thought that the movie was fun and enjoyable. But I wouldn't say it's like Best Picture. Like all these.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta nominate Jordan Peele because he's black. Oh.
There's currently a very large online effort to get this movie nominated for Best Picture. I don't understand that at all.
It's
I thought the
insane.
movie was very good.
Yeah,
I think
it's
very
great for a
well written.
first-time director for sure.
Yeah, very well written and well performed, and I mean he definitely knows what he wants to put on screen as a director. But basically, the movie I feel like doesn't come out of the trappings of being a horror movie slash a comedy movie. It doesn't really rise above that genre kind of fare. So I still left theater feeling like I had just seen kind of a horror movie, just any old horror movie. It's just that it has that extra layers and levels of racial tension and racial kind of subtext to it that you don't see in many horror movies. And I really appreciate
I've seen
that.
I've seen a lot of analyses about the racial message behind it, and a lot of it was pretty interesting. Like one of the arguments was like, oh, these people can't be racist. They want to become black, and they're like, oh, but no. But the point of the movie is that they're trying to take advantage of black people. So like at the same time, I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of interesting. Of course, when I heard somebody talking about this, it was much more eloquent and articulate than what I just said.
It's about owning their bodies or kind of like you don't see them as people, so you just use them as whatever means you can use them as. It's definitely interesting, but yeah, basically like I don't think the comedy generally, like near the end of the movie, it's fucking ridiculous. All the shit with his friend and everything, but yeah, I mean it is quite good.
There's a great moment at the end, which I've heard a lot of people say, like, you can tell which people in the theater were white and which ones were black based on their reaction, which at the very end, when he walks out of the house covered in blood and all the white people are dead and you see a cop car pull up, all the white people on the theater are like excited, like, oh yeah, he's finally safe, and all the black people are horrified, like, oh man, he's going to prison, they're gonna think he did it, which is it's a weird thing because I thought he was fucked. So I don't know who's making this comparison that blacks and whites are thinking different. I was like, no, it's obvious the black guy's fucked in this situation.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Speaking of black guys getting fucked, on October 17th, I saw a film called Marshall, which is another true story about, what's his name? Thurgood Marshall? Mm-hmm. He's the first black Supreme Court guy, but this is a story that takes place back when he was just a normal lawyer. And first of all, the movie's very good, and Chadwick Boseman playing Marshall. He was so good that I was like, wow, this is a great actor. I need to go look this guy up. And then I was astonished that it was Black Panther.
He's Black Panther,
I had no fucking idea the whole time. He completely changes his look, his tone of voice, his accent. It's so different that I was like, wow, maybe I should be excited for Black Panther. This guy is a phenomenal actor. But
definitely, when he approached, sorry.
No, go ahead.
When he approached Black Panther, he wanted to like add a African style accent onto it. So he basically changes completely how he talks and how he moves. So like, yeah, his Black Panther T'Challa role is going to be different from anything else he does.
Well, he's really good at embodying whatever role he's doing because he just disappears into the role of Thurgood Marshall. But I will say, my problem with this movie is that when you base a movie on like a real life person who has a deep and rich history, there's an expectation I have that you'll choose for the movie at least one of the good stories. And this movie keeps hinting at the good stories. The trailer says, he's the first black Supreme Court guy. He was the lawyer in Brown v. Board, the biggest court case in American history. But then, like, they just pick, like, some random run-of-the-mill trial. He talks in the movie, like, oh, man, I've argued in front of the Supreme Court 3 times. I'm thinking, why can't we see that movie? Like, this is just one small trial that he did. And then when I was thinking about it, I realized that Thurgood Marshall isn't even the main character in this movie. The main character is Josh Gad, who I love. Ever since I heard the Book of Mormon soundtrack, I love to see Josh Gad and things. He was in the Murder on the Orient Express. He played the big fat guy. But Josh Gad, I realized, is actually the main character because he's the one who goes through the hero's journey. And Thurgood Marshall is the Obi-Wan Kenobi of the story, who is like the mentor to the Josh Gad character. And then when the final day of court, when they say what happens, Thurgood Marshall's not even there. He left to go do a different case. Like, of all the different court cases that they could have made a movie about for Thurgood Marshall, they chose one where he wasn't even there for the end of it. So I would like, the movie's great. If this is like, if there's a planned sequel where they're going to show Brown v. Board and they keep like the same crew and the same actors, like this is a great setup for that character. This is like the superhero origin story for for Thurgood Marshall.
This has me interested because I'm such a history nut that I think I'd be interested in a Marshall movie, but it sounds like they didn't really do it that well for Marshall.
No, the movie's great. I just wish that they would have picked a more interesting court battle, because like this is sort of interesting, but like it doesn't deserve its whole own movie. They should have chose a better story for the source material. But overall, the movie is great, and I don't have any other complaints about it.
All right. So my next movie on here, and tell me if we did an episode about this. I don't fucking remember. Kong Skull Island. Did we talk about this?
No, because I did not see that movie.
All right. So yeah, I guess when I came out of this movie, I was just a little bit disappointed. It's a beautiful looking movie. I think there's not a whole lot to the plot or the characters. Basically just them trying to take down King Kong on Skull Island. So there's a lot of like monsters and dinosaurs and shit. I don't remember anything about this movie, to be honest. I came out of it slightly disappointed because it wasn't anything other than spectacle watching King Kong beat shit up.
Yeah, and I heard that the characters are like paper thin.
Yeah, I couldn't really. Oh, actually, wait. Now I remember. There is one good character in this.
Is it John C. Reilly?
It's John C. Reilly.
Yeah,
and like one of the best roles he's ever been in. Like, and he is clearly the main character, or at least like the character you're supposed to like go on an adventure journey with. And he is great in it. I can't believe I forgot about him because he's the best fucking part of the movie. They should give him his own spin-off movie of him surviving on the island. But yeah, other than that, it's fine. If you want to see King Kong beat the shit out of stuff, yeah, that's the thing for you. But I would have liked something that was a bit more character focused or really contextualized King Kong in some way. It's just a lot of pretty colors for the most part.
Would you say it's better than the Peter Jackson movie?
I don't remember much about the Peter Jackson movie other than I'm still watching it right now because it never fucking ended.
Yeah, you're right. It was the Titanic of giant ape movies, only it was longer than Titanic. I think it was 4 hours long.
Good Lord. They could have cut 2.5 hours.
Yeah. It was almost as long as the final sequence of
Return of the King
and of Battle of Five Armies.
God.
That was 3 hours long for one scene.
My idea of hell is being strapped down and forced to watch the Hobbit movies.
Oh my God.
On repeat.
I will attest that they are worse than the Star Wars prequels, and I'll punch anybody in the nose who disagrees with me on that.
I completely agree with you.
Fuck the Hobbit movies. On October 24th, I saw a movie called Only the Brave. Did you see that one?
Is that the one about firefighters?
Yep, it's the Josh Brolin, Miles Teller film about firefighters. And it was actually... You see the trailer and you think, oh, it's going to be a sappy, dumb movie that tries to make you cry, and all the firefighters are probably going to die. But the movie it transcends that and is so much better. And it actually earned those tears that came out of my eye holes. And this is one of the few films.
For Miles Teller?
Actually, yeah.
Wow.
I love any character who I think, wow, that's a tortured fucking guy. And Miles Teller is a tortured man by the end of this movie. There's a moment in this movie when and I don't want to spoil anything too much, but there's a moment in this movie where you can't feel anything but pain watching what happens to Miles Teller. And it transcends the typical movie like this of like, oh yeah, all his friends died, that must suck. But like the way that they set it up in this plot, it's fucking crazy dramatic and sad. But other than like the sad sappy stuff with firefighters and they're American heroes, good old boys, it's actually an educational movie. I learned a lot about like how to stop a fire, and it was very interesting.
Are you saying you're going to join the volunteer fire service?
No fucking way. After seeing this movie, I'm not going to step foot near a fire truck.
Okay.
Because those guys, man, the shit that they go through, fuck that. This movie is, they say like a Clint Eastwood movie is like military porn, or like Michael Bay, like, it inspires people to go join the military. This movie will make you never want to be a firefighter. What a fucking nightmare. What a fucking flaming nightmare. But Only the Brave was pretty great. And I don't know if it's going to hit my top 10 when we do our top 10 films, but it's pretty damn good. And Miles Teller, he goes on quite an emotional journey in this film. And I like Miles Teller quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like Miles Teller as an actor. I think as a person, he might be a dick, but he's a great actor.
I can separate the art from the fart. What do you got next here, Rich?
All right, so you mentioned our possible top 10 list. This movie I'm going to talk about might make it. It's a movie called Raw. Have you even heard about this movie?
No. What is Raw?
So Raw is I
have heard of Raw.
You have heard of it.
So there's an episode of Nightmare Kitchens where the food was not cooked, and Ramsey Gordon or whatever his name is yells, "It's fucking raw!" Is that what you're talking about? Is that the movie?
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Is his name Ramsey Gordon? Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay.
I've never watched the show, but
right names, wrong order. I love Gordon Ramsay. Raw is not any of that. Raw is, I think it's a French movie about a girl who goes to veterinarian school.
Okay, it's a French movie about a girl. How many times do you see her tits?
You do see her tits in the movie.
Yeah, I know you do. I fucking know you do.
She is naked. Yeah, she is naked in the movie, I think.
It's a French movie. Of course she's fucking naked.
Yeah, so while she's at veterinary school, she's very squeamish and she doesn't really want to take part in... So at veterinary school, you have to basically like be able to work on animals, and you have to work on dead animals a lot and everything like that. So she's very squeamish, but as the movie goes on, she kind of develops a taste, you may say. I don't want to spoil too much of the movie, but she doesn't eat meat in the beginning of the movie, but the movie's called Raw, so she ends up eating people.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I won't say anything but that. I am a big fan of cannibalism. Not really, like, I'm not a cannibal, but I like the Hannibal, and I like the Hannibal Lecter character. I thought that having seen those things, that I would be perfectly fine watching a movie about a cannibal person. I was not. This movie is fucking horrifying.
Oh my god.
And I had to close my eyes at one point because holy fucking shit. This movie is fucking nuts. It's probably on streaming somewhere. I would definitely recommend it if you're into arty movies and you want to see a girl fucking lose her mind.
Please tell me she eats somebody while her tits are out so I can look away while jerking off.
She definitely starts eating someone while she's having sex.
Oh, hell yeah. My dick's gonna be raw after I watch that movie, you know what I'm saying? High five, brother. Pretend that we high-fived. I just clapped my own hands.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. On November 1st, I saw a little movie I like to call A Bad Mom's Christmas. Bad Moms 2, A Bad Mom's Christmas. I've talked about this a lot in passing, just because it's Bad Moms 2.
Yeah.
I like the first Bad Moms movie. It stars Mila Kunis and a host of other funny gals. Much funnier than the female Ghostbusters, for sure. If you want to see actual funny women in a comedy, I'd say watch Bad Moms. So I was looking forward to Bad Moms 2 just because I remembered liking the first one. And the second one, Bad Moms 2, A Bad Moms Christmas, is also very funny. Strangely enough, Bad Moms 2, A Bad Moms Christmas came out within a few weeks of Daddy's Home 2, A Daddy's Home Christmas.
Okay.
And these are both Christmas movies about Christmas comedies about parents that have the same exact plot, because in Daddy's Home 2, A Daddy's Home Christmas, the plot is that Will Ferrell's dad, Will Ferrell's dad, Lord Farquaad comes in, and then Mel Gibson comes in as Marky Mark's dad. And then in Bad Moms 2, A Bad Moms Christmas, the plot is that the moms come in, and that all the moms are also bad moms. So it's weird that these two movies that are just like gender swapped came out at like the same time, and they're like I think they were both R-rated. I think maybe Daddy's Home 2, A Daddy's Home Christmas is rated PG-13, but I'm not sure. But my favorite part of Bad Moms 2, A Bad Moms Christmas is that the actress playing Mila Kunis's mom is just straight up a ripoff of BoJack Horseman's mom from the Netflix show BoJack Horseman. But I love that type of character. Like I went and looked it up because I thought it was the voice actress because it sounded just like her. The character is just as big of like a snobby elitist bitch to Mila Kunis. And I like that style of comedy. I thought it was very funny. The movie itself, some scenes were funnier than others, but at the end of the day, I got quite a few big belly laughs out of Bad Moms 2, A Bad Moms Christmas. And that's all I got to say.
I think you said that the first Bad Moms, not Bad Moms Christmas movie, is a good movie, which would make the Bad Moms duology Christmas a good Bad Moms Christmas movie.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good Bad Moms. I'm not even gonna try. What do you see next?
Yeah. All right, so the next movie that I saw that I fucking hated was called Beauty and the Beast, and this movie,
the highest-grossing movie of the year.
No, it's not. Star Wars beat it. Take that, you fucking Disney bitches.
Oh yeah, guess what beat Star Wars on New Year's Day? A little movie I like to call Jumanji. Get fucked, Ryan Johnson. You Luke killing bitch.
All right, so Beauty and the Beast. This movie starred Emma Watson and Dan. What's his name?
Schneider.
I don't. Not Schneider.
He's the fucking Beast.
I think Dan Schneider lost interest in Emma Watson long ago. Yeah. I hated this movie. I hated everything about it. I hate that Disney is doing these live action CGI filled bullshit movies.
I don't know. Lion King looks pretty dope. Did you see that cast?
No, I saw the cast, sure, and it's possible to make something good of it.
I haven't seen any of the live action Disneys yet, but I think I might see the Lion King because that cast looks pretty promising.
I think there was one of these that I liked, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Just please stop, Disney. I fucking hated this movie. It's way too long. It doesn't really do anything different from the movie that was released fucking 15 years ago. And anything it does do differently is fucking boring as shit. I wanted to kill myself while I was watching this movie. So it's pretty high grade, actually, if it was able to get me to do it. But it didn't, so fuck this movie.
All right, folks, it's about to get heated in here. Erich and I are about to have a battle royale, and I'm about to get edgy as fuck.
Okay, let's hear it.
On November 28th, I saw a little movie I like to call Lady Bird, starring Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse.
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 She has three vowels in a fucking row.
Saoirse. I think it's Saoirse.
Saoirse Ronan. And I would have rather watched the Knights of Ronan, the Knights of Ren, who Ryan Johnson conveniently forgot about, the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
Lady Bird, at a time, was the highest rated film on Rotten Tomatoes of all time. It had a 100%.
Fuck sabotaged it.
It wasn't even Armand White. Even Armand White liked this movie.
Wow.
Mumkey Jones, on the other hand, I'll say this. The movie is good, but I hated it. And
okay.
There was one...
At least you can admit it's good. At least
Yeah, there was one fucking faggot in our comment section the other day who said, "But MUMKEY, don't give me this bullshit. You can't say that you dislike a good movie or that you like a bad movie." Oh, okay, so since I like The Room, I must think that it's the best fucking movie ever made, you dumb fucking retard.
Find that commenter's name so I can fucking chew him out.
Oh, I'll find him. Like that.
Okay.
Of course you can dislike something that you know is objectively good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what are some objectively good movies? I probably hate a lot of them.
Citizen Kane?
I mean, it was boring.
Oh.
Anyway.
Godfather. All right.
I have not seen The Godfather. Maybe we'll Kino about it one day.
Yeah.
Lady Bird, here's why I hate it, and here's why I'm gonna get very edgy.
All right.
Because I hate this fucking character. How many times do I need to see the character of lay epic, quirky 17-year-old girl? It's a coming-of-age story. Does she get along with her parents? Of course not. Oh, did you know she has a lay epic, quirky, adopted Mexican brother who has sex with his black girlfriend on the couch? Lay epic, quirky movie, guys. Oh, she wants to start dating boys, and she dates a boy who's actually gay. Oh, no. Oh, but then she dates a different boy. Oh, but then he just uses her for sex. Oh, it must be so hard being a 17-year-old girl, guys. Oh, but at least she's lay epic quirky. XD! And that's why I hate this movie, because that's the whole fucking movie.
All right. So I get to talk about this movie now because...
Hey, I like this movie better when it was called Juno. Hey, I like this movie better when it was called Phoebe from Friends.
Same fucking thing. This movie is not the same fucking thing. So here's what this movie did that I liked. So you can be right that she is like quirky, epic XD.
But that's not a bad thing for most people. It's just I personally have known too many people like that, and I hate them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing, is that like there are people like her. You are also always a fucking idiot when you're a teenager. This movie is trying to demonstrate that you can have a hard time communicating with your parents, or so basically like the relationship between Lady Bird and her mother in this is fucking fantastic. There's a scene where they're in a clothing store and they are fucking arguing with each other just so acidically and just like sniping at each other, and then all of a sudden they just stop and she holds up a dress and they both kind of like go all about it. That is my family experience, basically. Like, I am not a snippy bitch, and I don't have snippy bitch conversations with snippy bitch. But basically, when I'm fighting with my brother, we can fight, and then the next minute we're like best friends again. Like, that is how family dynamics tend to work, because you kind of have to like live with these people and get along with them somehow. But what this movie did was it everyone in this movie was well-rounded. I thought the mother, the father. There's he's the father in the church who he's teaching him how to act, and then he just starts fucking breaking down and crying.
Yeah.
And they kind of only hint at what his deal is, but I mean, this movie just has so much depth to it, and it's beautifully made, beautifully shot. Greta Gerwig, the director and writer, I guess, she just has this perfect idea of who these people are and how they interact, and she's able to get those performances out of her actors so well. What's his name? I think his name's Ty Sheridan. We've seen him in what's the Casey Affleck movie we like? Manchester by the Sea.
That's not Ty Sheridan. That's Lucas Hedges.
Lucas Hedges, that's his name. Who the fuck is Ty Sheridan? Somebody else.
I don't know.
All right. I don't fucking know, man.
I'll say, you know what? I agree with a lot of what you're saying. And that I liked everything in this movie except for Lady Bird. And unfortunately, she's the focus of the entire film. And if I hate the main character, then I can't I can't get into the movie too much. Like, it's a fine movie, but I hate this character. I hate 17-year-old girls. I hate teenagers. I don't want to watch this shit. I don't like lay epic quirky bitch.
That's partially what the movie is saying, though, because her relationship with her mother, you kind of have to ask, like, parents always have to love you, but do they like you? Like,
I'm not this bitch's mom. I don't need to like her at all.
I know, but I think her relationship with her mother is interesting, at least. So,
Oh, sure, yeah. That's fine.
So there's more to the movie than just her interacting with people.
There was one scene that really... The one scene that really got to me is when Lucas Hedges confesses... Well, like... She finds out that her boyfriend's gay, but then there's a scene where he's like crying on her shoulder because he's scared about how his parents will respond, and that
Yeah.
scene was that scene transcended the movie, and it was too good
Uh-huh.
for the movie that it
Well,
was
and the other
in.
thing is, like, basically, I think we're both around the same age, so like we were growing up around this time. The movie takes place in the mid 2000s, kind of.
Yeah.
So like that is kind of when we were growing up. That is kind of how we experienced things, and I just thought it was such a great envisioning of that time, and yeah, fucking perfect movie. I think it might be on my top five, I guess, of the year. We'll see. We'll see. There's still
Lady
a bunch of
Bird
other
is
movies.
somehow more annoying than the boy from Boyhood. I
Ooh,
would rather
oh,
watch
hard
Boyhood
disagree.
again.
Hard disagree.
Fuck
Oh
you.
fuck.
What's your next movie?
All right, my next movie is a little movie called T2 Train Spotting 2. Have you seen
Oh.
the original Train Spotting?
I saw half of it and then I think I fell
Ah.
asleep.
Oh, the original Train Spotting is a masterpiece. It is one of the best movies ever made. I love Danny Boyle. I will suck Danny Boyle's dick at fucking any turn. But this was a very contentious sequel because
Uh
you're
oh.
coming back like 20 years after the original. All of the main actors are back, but you're just not sure. This is the original Train Spotting is based off a book called Train Spotting. The sequel to Train Spotting was a book called Porno. I have not read either one of them, but people didn't like porno, and so they decided to change some things in porno. Train Spotting is an interesting. The second one is an interesting movie because it repeats a lot of the same things that the first one did, but I think that the movie is trying to say something different than just like The Force Awakens, repeating everything is fun and exciting. I
Mm-hmm.
think the movie is trying to demonstrate that when you try to repeat things as an older person and kind of get back that inherent beauty of youth, that you're inherently pathetic in trying to do that. And I think it's a very good sequel in that it develops all these characters. At the end of Train Spotting, fuck, I don't remember the character's name. Denton, I think. Uh, Ewan McGregor's character basically leaves everyone, all of his friends, in a shitty situation without any money, and he takes all of the money. So just seeing what he did after that, and then how all these characters come back together after that, like bakes huge rift in their relationship was formed. I just loved seeing everything that this movie had to offer, and I think it's definitely a worthy sequel. It can't be better than the original, but I think it's more mature and great soundtrack once again. Train Spotting is fucking great. So there you go.
So you're saying it's a sequel that saw what the original film did, and instead of trying
Mm-hmm.
to like destroy it or ignore it or like make a meta commentary about it, it grew from that and actually developed the characters in a way that was consistent and logical from the first movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen a movie like that in a long time. Like, when's the last time you saw a sequel that wasn't just like a big middle finger to the previous movie? I can't think of one. In like the last month, I can't think of one at all. Can
Mm-hmm,
you?
mm-hmm.
Can you
Is
think of
that
one?
a dig at Star Wars Episode 8 The Last Jedi?
What are you
You
ta-
fucking idiot.
No, it was a dig at Bad Moms 2 A Bad Moms Christmas, you fuck. Come on. What are you
Oh,
talking
I should
about?
have known. I should have known.
So I saw the first half of a movie on December 3rd. I went to the theater to see Wonder because
We're
I
really
read the
digging to the bottom of the barrel here.
I read the book Wonder for like a young adult literature class in college
Yeah.
because I was going to be a teacher and I wanted to teach middle schoolers. So it's like, oh, here's how you teach these types of books, and I read Wonder in a day.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I kind of like the book. I guess I'll go check out the movie. And I got so fucking bored that I just left the theater and went home.
So
like-
recommend.
Like that's the thing about Movie Pass is that it's not like I spent money on it. And at this
Yeah.
point, it'd be more of a detriment to my time to stay in the theater and watch the rest of the movie. And I know how this
Time
ends
is
because I
really
read the
money,
book.
you know?
So I'm just gonna go home. So
This movie was very well liked. I wonder what what was
I-
wrong with it.
I was just fucking bored.
Mm-hmm.
So Wonder, I would say, is probably not Kino. What's your next
Okay.
one?
My next one is a little movie called Power Rangers. Monkey, did you grow up watching Power Rangers when you were a kid?
No, I've never seen any Power
Little baby
Rangers.
monkey.
Nothing.
No, I grew up watching Power Rangers quite a lot. Original Mighty Morphin. I watched Zeo. I watched Turbo. I watched In Space. Lost Galaxy. Whatever. I'll just keep naming Power Ranger series all fucking day.
Sure.
But
For all I know, you're making shit up.
Oh yeah, fucking Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin, Zeo, Morg, Dorg, Forg, Borg. Yeah, so Power Rangers, I really like this movie. It's a very dark and gritty reimagining of the Power Rangers.
Oh
Uh,
shit! And it
but
has
it does that
Bryan
well.
Cranston.
It does. It has fuck. It has Bryan Cranston as Zordon. I can't fucking talk about Power Rangers because it all becomes like moggly mush in my brain. But yeah, Bryan Cranston plays Zordon, who's kind of the lead character Power Ranger guy who leads all the Rangers. But it is a dark, gritty reimagining of what the Power Rangers would be like if they were real teenagers, and it's actually surprisingly done well. They don't actually get into the Power Ranger stuff until like the last third of the movie, probably, and I think that's to the movie's benefit because you really get to focus in on the characters and who these people are before they become Power Rangers. I think it's closer to the movie Chronicle than anything Power Rangers, but by the very end, they're in fucking Megazords and they're beating up fucking monsters. And Rita Repulsa is played by Elizabeth Banks. I love Elizabeth Banks.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
want to
she's
fuck Elizabeth
funny.
Banks. But yeah, so I really enjoy this movie. When all of the Zords are coming out, they play the guitar riff fucking Power Rangers opening, and that just made my fucking year. So
Hell yeah!
I
Go
I
go
really enjoyed this
Power
movie.
Ranger!
Yeah.
Famous
I
theme
enjoyed
song. All right, on December 16th, me, Patchy, and Sheepover went and saw a little movie I like to call The Shape of Water.
Oh shit!
E-Rich, I'm surprised you haven't seen this one yet.
Yeah, I want to. I really want to.
This is Guillermo del
It's pronounced
Toro.
Gambino del Taco.
This is his attempt to have another Oscar movie, and I think he's got it. I think he's
Yeah?
gonna get some sort of. He's gonna get lots of nominations. I don't know if he's gonna win anything.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, the movie does something that I've been begging Hollywood to do all of my life, and that is that within the first 2 minutes of the film, we get to see the lead actress naked. So
Nice.
I don't have to waste the whole movie being distracted, like, oh, what does she look like naked? I wish every movie ever would just like immediately show us what the actress looks like naked.
Would
so
you
then
pay an extra $5 to have like X-ray vision goggles or whatever to just see every actress?
no, just put it in the movie. Like it's an artistic decision that I think you can shove in anywhere.
Yeah.
Like how
yeah.
much better would Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets be if you could just see Emma Watson naked at the beginning?
If you just see Ginny naked in Chamber
Yeah,
of Secrets. Oh,
like that's
God.
the hottest Jenny ever was Chamber of Secrets. Like come on.
God. Oh God.
The movie is, I mean, of course, it's very strange because it's about a mute woman who falls in love with a toxic
A fish man?
fish man who turns out to be like an Aztec god for real with like superpowers and shit.
Yeah. Whoa, really? That's
Yeah,
fucking cool.
it's pretty out there. Michael Shannon, of course, he's always the best part of anything that he's in, and this is no exception.
Yeah.
This is him at full sociopath, crazy, angry man
So he looks like he's losing his mind every goddamn second.
he's always losing his mind. He's the best part of the movie for me.
I love Michael Shannon so much.
Yeah, the movie really plays out like a fairy tale in a lot of ways, and it goes through a lot of those types of beats. It's enjoyable. It becomes a heist movie at one point when they're breaking out the fish man. It's a lot of fun. My big problem is that the last minute of the movie is so rushed. They do probably 10 minutes worth of movie in the last minute. And I think that maybe the cameras just ran out of film or something because like they just they cranked that shit out and it was really jarring. And then all of a sudden the movie was over. But other than the ending, I think I really enjoyed it. But on the drive home, me, Patrick, and Sheep were all like, that movie was fucking weird and dumb. But then I thought about it and I was like, oh no, it was actually quite enjoyable. Now that I think about it, it's just that the ending was done poorly.
Mm-hmm. So I've heard good things about the Fishman's ass. Does the Fishman have a nice ass?
He does, and it's suggested that he has a penis that is all the way inside of his body, but evidently it's very large when it comes out. They have a
holy shit.
The mute woman and her black friend spend a long time talking about how big the Fishman's penis is.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. So would you say this is better than?
Go ahead.
Was this better than Pan's Labyrinth?
I haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, you fuck. You normie fuck.
But you do see the mute woman naked a lot, and you see every part of her, and you get to see her masturbate a whole lot. It's great.
Hell yeah.
She's pretty hot for being what I assume is in her 40s.
All right. Interesting.
What
All
you got
right.
next?
So the movie that I saw next up is a little movie called Life. Do you know anything about this movie?
Yeah, that's also Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds, but I did not
It
see it.
is. It is. This movie is a piece of shit.
Oh,
It is not worth
oh
anyone's time.
no.
All of like it's basically like 4 or 5 great actors all on a space station, and I'm just like, fuck yes, this movie's gonna be great. And it's all about this fucking like killer alien that gets there and starts fucking shit up. But it just plays like such a boring rote kind of horror movie. Characters make stupid fucking decisions. It's like the shittiest version of a Ridley Scott alien movie could possibly be,
Oh.
except that even Ridley Scott can't make a movie this shitty. Uh,
I wouldn't be
Pride.
too
Have you
sure.
seen Alien Covenant? But so Life, I really like the end of it though, because they're really trying to stop this alien from getting on Earth, and by the end of the movie, they've done it. They've killed the alien. It's not going to get on Earth, and then it cuts to they destroyed the wrong pod. The alien gets on Earth, and then
Oh,
it's just like this
fuck.
alien's going to fuck shit up. And that was the only time the movie rose above like mere competence. So yeah.
That's disappointing because just based on the cast and the premise, I was excited about that too. So I'm sad to hear that
Yeah.
it sucks.
Yeah, it's a pretty sad movie.
All right, I went back to Iowa, and me and my dad saw a whole bunch of movies. And the
Okay.
first one we saw on December 23rd was Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle.
You know, I did see this movie as well. So
Oh,
fuck.
good. I will say, Erich, that this is meta casting Kino of the year.
All right.
Because the entire movie shines and succeeds based on the fact that they cast these specific actors in these roles and that the actors are essentially making fun of themselves the entire
Yeah.
time. The movie
Yeah.
is so fucking meta, and without that, it's just run of the mill nothing. But
Mhm.
just the premise of it's like a body swap where the actors are making fun of their own bodies and their own personalities and stuff. I really enjoyed all of that in the movie. What do you think?
We talked a lot about actresses that we thought are fucking hot. Karen Gillan is so fucking hot. I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and her legs go forever. Yeah, Karen Gillan is great. The Rock is great. I think he's really become a kind of star presence in Hollywood, and he can carry fucking anything.
Oh,
He
of
carried
course.
this fucking movie. Yeah. So
I thought Jack
Kevin
Black
Hart-
was the best part for sure.
I've seen almost none of Kevin Hart's stuff. Is he particularly good in this?
He's typically
Fine.
Kevin Hart is not that great, but in this movie I thought he was
Uh-huh.
fine.
Yeah, he was fine. I mean, like, basically they're comedians. They have to make jokes. They have to be able to, and like, none of the jokes they make are particularly funny. But since they can deliver them well and they can really interact with one another, well, the movie ends up working. Yeah, you're right. Jack Black playing a teenage girl is a great fucking idea. And,
Yeah, it's
it
really
works in this
fucking
movie.
funny. It's
Yeah, the movie is decent.
yeah, it's a whole lot of fun, and I can see why it beat Star Wars on New Year's Day at the box office.
It did fucking not. All right, maybe it did New Year's Day.
Yeah,
but,
it beat it for one
no.
day, and I'm gonna hold that over your head for the rest of your life.
Fuck.
A movie
Bobby
that came out a week
Cannavale-
later.
Yeah, Bobby Cannavale is the villain in this movie. He doesn't do a particularly good job, but I love Bobby Cannavale. So, yeah, there's like a centipede that runs out of his mouth.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy and cool. Like he's like the bug man. He's got all
He's
these
the animal man. He's a
bugs on
manimal.
him. Yeah, he's a manimal. All right, what
Yeah.
you got next?
Let's see here. I got Ghost in the Shell. Did you see this shitty movie?
No.
No. Okay, so this was the big fucking controversy. Was Scarlett Johansson playing Motoko, whatever her name is from Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah.
Major is the name of the character, I believe.
And what's
But,
your view on that? Do you think it was whitewashing? I'm not here to judge. You can get
I think
as libcuck as you want.
it's probably as tame a version of that move that they did, but they could have played it way better than they did. Like basically, they did the worst version of a fine idea. So if they did a better version of the thing they did, I think people would have less of a problem with it. But
So you're more upset that the movie
what ends
was
up
bad.
happening? What ends up yeah, exactly. It looks great, but everything else is shit. Basically, what ends up happening is a Japanese woman dies, and her soul is transplanted into the body of Scarlett Johansson. So basically, like, she discovers that at one point she was an Asian woman. That's about it.
So would you say that the woman's soul is trapped under the skin of Scarlett Johansson?
Oh my god, I fucking love Under the Skin. Yeah, yeah, I would say that. I would say that. This movie is fucking boring as hell. Basically, if I've lost interest in a great looking movie an hour in, there's a big problem. I think Scarlett Johansson's fine, but this bullshit about robots discovering their sentience or discovering their souls or whatever, it has to fucking stop because it's not a new idea anymore. Stop treating it like it's fucking smart.
Go watch iRobot, you idiots. It had Will Smith, and he's racist against robots.
And Sunny, yeah. Nah, Ghost in the Shell just never rises above being a ghost in the shell of the original Ghost in the Shell, basically.
He did it, folks. How did he only get 4th place in the sidekick contest when he's got these great fucking quips?
Fucking outrage.
All right, on December 26th, me and my dad went and saw a movie called All the Money in the World. E-Rich, did you see this one?
I did not.
Ooh, this is probably
starring Kevin Spacey.
Almost starring Kevin Spacey. That's solely the reason why I wanted to see this movie. In case you guys don't know, the big Kevin Spacey plays I don't remember the character's name.
Paul Getty.
He plays Getty in this movie, the richest man in the world, and a big old man. In the trailers, we see Kevin Spacey wearing like very obvious old man prosthetics, and it looks terrible.
Geddy Lee.
Then all of a sudden, Kevin Spacey starts raping little boys, and they're like, "Uh-oh, this movie's gonna suffer."
But Monkey, he's gay.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's okay to rape little boys if you're gay. If you were straight, it'd be just really weird. I'd be like, "Why are you doing that? You're not even gay. What do you do?" So they think, "Oh, it's not because this movie's going up against Star Wars that it's gonna fail. It's because it stars Kevin Spacey." Oh, I have an idea. This movie comes out in 2 weeks. What if we reshoot every single scene with Kevin Spacey, who happens to be in half of the movie? We reshoot all of his scenes with an actor named Christopher Plummer, who evidently is like a big shot famous actor, but I don't know if he's been in anything that I've seen. Who is he?
I'm sure you've seen him in something.
Probably. I just see him as an old man because he's like 90 years old.
He's fucking 103.
So I wanted to see this movie just because they reshot half of it in the last 2 weeks, and I'm like, I gotta see this shit. Like, you always hear about movies having reshoots, but you never know for sure which scenes were reshot. But in this movie, for the first time ever, we know every single scene that was reshot just based on who's in it. So I had to go see it. Turns out, the movie's a fucking thrill ride. It's a high-octane, exciting thrill ride from our buddy Ridley Scott. He didn't completely fuck up this year, or last year. Good. I really enjoyed this movie. Mark Wahlberg is also in it, and one of our waifus from Manchester by the Sea, Michelle Williams, gives a fantastic performance. I like just about everything about this movie. Even somebody like one of the kidnappers, because it's like a kidnapping plot, and then Getty doesn't give enough of a shit about his grandson to pay the ransom. Like, even the kidnapper gets, like, a whole bunch of characterization, and he goes through, like, a big arc. They do a lot of cool stuff in the movie. And I'm expecting that Christopher Plummer, who reshot all the Kevin Spacey scenes in, like, 5 days, is probably going to get some big Oscar buzz for his role. He did a great job with so little time to prepare.
Yeah, he's got a lot of shit riding in his favor because he's a very old, very well-liked actor. He was somehow able to fucking pull this shit off in 2 weeks. That's pretty fucking amazing. And people fucking hate Kevin Spacey. So,
and if you want to hear me talk more about people hating Kevin Spacey, just wait till I get to a movie called Call Me By Your Name. But I would highly recommend All the Money in the World. I would not be surprised to see it end up in my top 10.
I've got a question about All the Money in the World. Does Mark Wahlberg blind a Vietnamese man in this movie?
Yeah, he calls him a Vietnamese fucking shit. and
Yeah.
he like spits in his face and punches him in the eye, and the guy goes blind. It's pretty great.
Uh-huh. I've got another question. Does Marky Mark claim that if he were on Flight 93, he would have been able to stop the terrorists and
Did he
stop
say
9/11
that?
from happening?
Is
Yeah,
that
he said
true? That's
said
fucking
that.
awesome. What a hero. Hell
Oh my
yeah.
God.
That's amazing. I love Marky Mark.
Marky Mark's great.
Okay,
All right,
what's your
so
next
the
movie?
the movie that I saw is a movie called Colossal. Have you heard anything about this movie?
No. I've heard that Colossal is crazy, but that's about it.
So, yeah, Colossal is a movie starring Anne Hathaway, and she discovers that when she is drunk at night, her soul or she is able to control a giant monster who's in Seoul, Korea.
Oh.
And so basically she gets blackout drunk and then starts fucking like running around this playground, and basically the playground is a scale model of Seoul, Korea. So this monster keeps showing up and fucking wrecking everything, and she realizes, oh wait, I am like mind linked with things somehow. And it's a pretty good movie. Not as good as I hoped it would be. This is a great, also Jason Sudeikis performance in this movie. He is vaguely a villain, which is new for him, I'd assume. But yeah, it's a decent movie. I was kind of hoping for more. It's the kind of thing where you have this really cool idea that they play with, and I just never get the sense that there are realistic rules or that all of the people treat it the way that it should be treated in the movie when they find that out. But yeah, it's certainly interesting. I want to applaud it for doing something different and new, and I think I love Anne Hathaway personally, so seeing her get some range in this movie was quite good.
So you would recommend checking out Colossal is Crazy?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, on the final day of the year, this isn't the final
Yeah.
2017 movie I'm reviewing, but it's the last one I saw in theaters.
All right.
Me and Sheepover went and saw a little movie I like to call Molly's Game. Even though I told you specifically I don't want to see that movie, let's not Kino about
Oh, I see how it is.
it. But I was like, yeah, I want to go see a movie, but nothing's playing. I guess we can go see that one. And I shouldn't have told you not to see it because it's really, really good.
I've heard good things about it. It's an Aaron Sorkin script and his first directorial debut.
Yeah, it's...
How'd he do?
Okay. I might have been too enthusiastic. I just remembered that I hate Aaron Sorkin. the story
shit.
and the performances are good. The dialogue is... Aaron Sorkin, I think his biggest problem is that he's too good of a writer. And it makes every single character have the same voice.
Sound the same way. Yeah.
Every character sounds like Sherlock from the BBC show Sherlock. And I don't like these universes that Aaron Sorkin creates where every single character is like a witty genius and every single person is like popping out like the smartest quips, and they're so articulate, and they have like 50-word sentences popping out of their mouths at any given time, and they're just everybody's too smart, and they all sound like Sherlock, and it really gets on my fucking nerves. But in spite of that, the movie is pretty great. Yeah. And we don't know, it's based on a true story. We don't know who it's about because they like changed the names. But I'm convinced that whoever this is about did nothing wrong, in that she got pretty cucked by the United States government.
Wow.
And it's pretty upsetting. But of course, it's a movie, so I'm sure they probably changed a bunch of stuff. But Molly's Game, it's out playing now. And if you got Movie Pass, go watch that shit. It's pretty good.
I've got a question. Jessica Chastain is a top tier mommy. How is she?
Her tits are pretty big in the movie.
Yeah.
Like she shows off her tits quite a bit. There's also she's in a really cool skiing accident in the movie too.
Whoa.
So if you want to see, your mommy foo upside down on skis, go check that out.
Also, I guess our boy Idris Elba's in this, right?
Yeah, it's his best movie of the year.
That's not saying much.
Better than The Mountain Between Us. No, there's a lot of like sitting in like in an office or a boardroom and just talking, or like sitting around a poker table and talking.
That's what Aaron Sorkin is all about. He's all about having his characters move around and fucking say a million words in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, there's a lot of million words, but it's mostly people sitting and talking the whole time. But it's
Interesting.
still
Interesting.
it's still he makes some cool editing choices. So I like that about him. Like they'll be talking about something and then they'll like cut away to like just random footage or like a diagram of what they're talking about, which is something that I always enjoy in these types of movies.
Interesting. Well, this is one that I was looking forward to, but it's not playing anywhere near me, so I had no choice. So the next movie that I saw is a little called Your Name. Have you seen this movie?
That's not 2017. That's 2016.
Are you sure? Because it definitely was released in 2017, according to this fucking release schedule I have.
I mean, I think it came out in America in 2017, so I'll allow it.
All right.
But I'm pretty sure that Plebe and the Weeb recorded an episode about that in December of 2016, so you'd be hard-pressed to prove otherwise.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't have an American release date on here.
But go ahead and review your fucking weeaboo anime. I also saw it in 2017.
Okay. Announced that the film will be released in North American theaters on April 7th, 2017. So I did see this in 2017.
Yeah, so did
All
I.
right. So Your Name is a body swap movie where a young boy and a young girl switch bodies, and the boy is always feeling himself up, which is great. That's what I would do. And the girl is pretty responsible. I really love this movie. I was in tears by the end of it. I think it does a great job in being a body swap thing in that kind of genre. I think the movie does a lot of cool things with Japanese culture. She is kind of raised around a shrine, and she kind of has to be respectful of her ancestors and all that fucking moon ruin shit. And he is from the city, so they're kind of the country mouse, city mouse type thing. I fucking love the twist of this movie. I won't say it because everybody.
Oh, I'm gonna say it because the twist is what made me hate the movie.
Really? All right. But I mean, like, yeah, I just fucking loved it. I'm a big romantic at heart, so I loved seeing that shit. And yeah, I love this movie. What the fuck? Why do you hate the twist?
Yeah, so, I mean, body swap movies, or, like, any body swap story is inherently interesting and fun, and, like, it doesn't even have to tell a good story, because it's just fun seeing characters interact in different bodies. That's why I like Jumanji, because, like, all these teens are now in, movie star bodies. The problem with this movie, and I'll say Your Name is a good movie, and I enjoyed most of it, but it tried to get too clever. And the sad thing is, when a movie tries to, like, oh, look how clever I'm going to be, but then what they do is actually retarded, it makes the movie look like a big fat retard. And the problem is that this isn't just a body swap movie. It's also a body swap time travel movie where they're going, I think the boy's going 3 years into the past when he goes into the girl, and the girl's going 3 years into the future. So I guess in all those weeks they spent body swap, they never
was
like
it really
saw
3 years? I thought it was way more than that.
Well, yeah, okay, maybe it's like 50 years. So I guess they just never noticed. Look at that calendar. I guess it's fucking 50 years later. Huh.
Yeah, that's the one thing you kind of have to like just shrug at, and also
Well, I couldn't shrug at that because the movie thought it was so clever for dropping this twist on me, and I'm like, of course I didn't notice the twist. The characters didn't even fucking notice it, and it's the most obvious thing in the world. It's retarded.
Yeah. Well, maybe they were too
that
distracted by the fact that they were in different bodies the whole time.
It is fucking stupid, but otherwise the movie's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. I've only got 2 more. How many more do you have?
I've got fucking 30 more. One second.
Oh my god. We're an hour and 10 minutes into this shit.
3, 4, 5. Did we talk about the Mummy?
No, we didn't talk about the Mummy.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, we're getting into the we've talked about it already.
Okay. Well, once I finish all of mine, then you can just very rapid fire the rest of them if you have anything to say. And we'll make this an hour and a half long episode of Visit Kino, because why not?
Mm-hmm. All right.
So when I was with my brother over Christmas break, he got me an app on my Android phone. I think you can only get it on an Android phone, called Terrarium TV. And it is a godsend because it's an app that lets you stream any movie or TV show you could ever possibly dream of. You don't have to worry about going to torrent websites or going to CD websites. The app does it all for you, and it Chromecasts right onto your TV. And it just so happens that this app has all the films that are in theaters. So yesterday I treated myself to a double feature of 2 films that are not even in theaters around me yet. And the first one that I watched was I, Tonya, starring Margot Robbie.
Oh man, I can't wait to see this movie.
This movie is pretty phenomenal, E-Rich.
Good.
I think it might hit my top 10 favorites of the year too, but that might be recency bias because I just saw it yesterday. But I really liked it. It's another one of those. It's a famous story that we've all heard. We've all heard the Weird Al song headline news where
was the only that's the only exposure I have to this story.
Same here. The skater from I think the 90s, the mid 90s, who evidently hired some goons to break the knee of her skating competition. And this movie is all about that woman's life, not the one who got injured, but the one who was behind it all. And whether or not she actually did it. And like her whole life story. And it's so thrilling and interesting to me. And again, I am completely 100% convinced after seeing this movie that she did nothing wrong. She did fucking nothing wrong. And if the movie is to be believed, which I think minimal research will prove that it's true.
It's true.
She really did nothing wrong. And it's a great movie. I can't wait for you to see it so we can talk about it more.
Yeah, I want to see this shit. All right, I'm gonna fucking quick fire through my next couple. So the next one I saw, which I don't think we talked about, was The Fate of the Furious. Have you seen this movie?
I did see that one.
This movie was fucking shit. Yeah, I don't actually remember a whole lot about it.
Paul Walker's lucky that he died before he had to be in this piece of garbage movie.
Yeah, these movies have been falling down since the fucking 6th one. They finally got good around the 5th one, and then since then it's just been shitty movie after shitty movie. Fate of the Furious does have Jason Statham killing a bunch of goons on an airplane.
Yeah, I was gonna say
all
the scenes with Jason Statham and The Rock are great.
The Rock.
Like they have a prison breakout scene that's a lot of fun. That was them too.
They are great. They are great, but they should be mortal fucking enemies because he killed fucking Han.
Yeah.
These movies make no sense. They don't even care about their own fucking story. So why should I care about anything other than seeing explosions on screen and cars and explosion and ass and all of these things?
Well, that's your problem, Rich. I didn't go into the movie expecting to care at all, and I never did. I was just like, oh, that's a fun scene. Okay.
True. But the more they get through this fucking stupid bullshit story, the more they want.
It's just a fucking it's a soap opera with cars.
Oh no, Dom is evil now. You should be afraid. No, this is fucking dumb.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know he's gonna be good by the end of it because these movies are for man children and actual children. So
because I have IQ above 20 because I don't sniff gas.
There was some messed up stuff where they kidnap Dom's like lover and his like baby, and then they kill them in front of him, and I was like, oh my god, what the hell? This movie's kind of dark. There's 3 cool scenes, but then the rest of the movie is the shit that I expected it to be.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody likes these movies anymore. All right, do you have anything else?
Yeah, the final movie I saw on my double feature yesterday and of 2017 is Call Me By Your Name, a.k.a. literally what Kevin Spacey did, the movie. But for some reason, it's okay when this movie does it, and it's going to win Oscar for Best Picture, even though it's boring as shit, and I stopped watching it halfway through.
Is it based on a true story?
I fucking hope not, because it's... Like, how boring does their lives have to be that this would be, like, the most important thing that happened to them, that they make a movie out of it? And, E-Rich, you know me.
Yeah.
I don't need to see, that movie didn't have an explosion every 5 minutes, man. That's a boring movie. Like, you know that I'll watch a slower, character-driven, slow movie.
You do want to see their tits, like you do want to see the actors.
Well, there's no female characters in the movie. This is it's a Kevin Spacey gay pedophile movie. There's no tits to see.
Yeah.
So when I say that a movie is boring and too slow, that I'm not like a normie. Like I watch these boring slow movies and I enjoy them, but this one is just a class of its own. I sure do miss when movies had things happen in them. I wonder if this movie ever will. It won't?
It doesn't.
Nothing's gonna happen. Oh, Army Hammer is 40 and he's gonna start making out and groping a 17-year-old boy. I guess it's okay because they live in France. If Kevin Spacey did this, they'd kick him out of the movie, wouldn't they? Okay. Well, I'm turning this off and watching I, Tonya instead. Okay. That was boring. And that's my review of that movie, is that it's boring.
I am looking forward to seeing this movie and seeing what I think of it versus your review just now.
Well, tell me how it ends, because as far as I know, it doesn't have an ending.
All right, we'll do. Okay, so
that's all I got. So steamroll the rest of your movies.
That's all you got. So I'm going to try to knock these off really fucking quickly.
Okay.
So the next movie I saw is The Lost City of Z. Have you heard anything about this?
Is that based off of a book?
I think it is.
I think I'm thinking of The City of Ember. Is that a sequel to City of Ember?
No, it's not. Okay, so The Lost City of Z. Charlie Hunnam stars in it. Robert Pattinson has a very good co-starring role. This is basically a British guy who loses his honor, loses his place in society. So in order to get that back, he journeys into South America, I think, and basically is exploring in like the 1800s. Wait, maybe it's the 1600s. Whatever. This is a fucking great epic movie. It's very long. It is very much paced like old kind of exploration movies. But it's just so well made. Like, this is beautiful. It reminds me of like Joseph Conrad, Heart of Darkness type shit. And it is right down my alley. Robert Pattinson is fucking amazing in this. I actually like Charlie Hunnam in this, which I never expected to like Charlie Hunnam in fucking anything. So I really loved this movie. It might be on my perhaps.
Isn't Charlie Hunnam in Pacific Rim?
Yeah, but he's terrible in it.
Oh, well, he
the
worst part of Pacific Rim. The cutie pie Asian, though. I mean, I self-inserted as his character because I wanted to neural connect with that Asian cutie.
Yeah, Jax is fucking awful. Okay, my next one is Free Fire. Did you see Free Fire?
No, what is that?
No, Free Fire is a movie about a small group of, I think, gangsters, or maybe they all basically the entire movie is one long shootout, and they they make their bones out of that, and they do a really good job of it. It's directed by, I don't remember his name, but he's a really good director, although I think some of his movies aren't great. But yeah, so it stars Brie Larson. I love Brie Larson.
Ooh,
she's a very
my Ex Machina. No, not Ex Machina.
Well, no.
No, she's from Room. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah, Room. I was thinking of Alicia Vikander from Ex Machina.
Yes.
But Brie Larson is my room mommy waifu. Hey,
your Roomba. Yeah.
Give me some of that Brie Larson, baby.
Yeah. She's quite sexy in this. But there's also Army Hammer. The dude from District 9 and Elysium and that fucking...
Oh, Matt Damon.
No. Sharlto Copley. Sharlto Copley is hilarious.
Is he the guy in Elysium who says, "I always wanted a wife"?
Yeah, I want a wife.
Yeah, I want to settle down with that. Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, he's fucking hilarious in this movie. This movie is just a lot of fun. It's one long shootout, so you've got a lot of characters interacting and talking and shooting, and people get hurt in realistic ways. It's a lot of fun. I would definitely recommend Free Fire.
Okay.
All right, and the next movie I have, King Arthur: Legend of the Sword, starring Charlie Hunnam.
Again.
All right. Here's the deal with this. If this movie were half an hour shorter, I would fucking love it. But unfortunately, there's some boring shit in it, and that just kills any kind of goodness this movie could have. This movie is fucking nuts. Have you ever watched Guy Ritchie movies, MUMKEY?
What has he made?
He has made Snatch. He has made Lock, Stock, and Three Smoking Barrels, I think.
I don't think I've seen any of these.
He made the new Sherlock Holmes movies.
Oh, yeah, I like those.
With Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law.
Yeah, those are good movies.
Yeah, so he makes movies that are fucking kinetic. They fucking have great dialogue, and I mean, it's basically a bunch of smartasses talking to one another and being smart with another. And he basically makes a King Arthur movie that is basically like his old London movies in a lot of ways. And like, basically, there's a couple things I really love. CIA is in this movie, and he's pretty fucking good.
Is he a big guy?
He's a big guy for me. What else? Digimon Hunsu. He's also in this, and he's really good. Jude Law is the evil king Vortigern in this, and he is fucking great. I think there's a time when he cuts off someone's ear and he holds it up to his mouth and he like talks into it or something. It's fucking hilarious. And then the last thing I want to say is the soundtrack in this movie is fucking great. Like, I would just love that this movie exists just for the soundtrack. It's like what do I want to say? It's very breathy. Like, he uses people's breath in it, going like like that all the fucking time. It's so great. But yeah, I actually like this movie even though it's not very good. So,
It's just too long.
Yeah, it's way too long for what it's supposed to be doing. I also saw Alien Covenant. It was shit. I also saw Pirates of the Caribbean, the new one. It was shit.
It was shit, yep.
I also saw The Mummy. It was shit. I also saw It Comes at Night, which was very good, but I didn't.
Oh, I saw that one too.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Well, the thing is, people I heard were disappointed because I guess they like saw the trailer and they were expecting it to be something else. But I went into the movie completely blind. I had absolutely no expectations. I didn't see the trailer or anything, and I really enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah, I mean, feel like this is a movie I should like more than I actually did. Like, I think it's really well made. There's a couple things that just don't quite make sense for me. Like, something gets in at some point in the movie, and you're not sure what it is. The movie's very much playing with distrust and like kind of sowing. I don't know. You don't feel right the entire time, and that does work a lot of the time. But then it's so confusing by the end. You're not sure whether someone has kind of turned or not, and yeah, I don't know.
I remember me and Sheep saw this, and
Yeah.
I got 2 beers at the theater, so I was pretty tipsy by the end of the movie. And there's the final shot of them at the dinner table, and then it cuts to black and the credits start. And I was feeling kind of tipsy, and I was so surprised by this abrupt ending with like this shocking twist or whatever, like this change in the family makeup. Yeah. In the theater, when I saw the credits, I yelled, "What the fuck?"
Was the theater full of people?
No, it was like 2 other people in there other than me and Sheep.
Okay. Well, they probably felt the same thing then.
In the last 30 minutes, I was kind of my brain was kind of swimming with the beer, so maybe I'm remembering the movie a little too fondly. But I think it was okay, and the ending was abrupt enough to make me go, "Wait, what? What? Oh my God, that happened! Jesus, fuck!"
The movie was very well liked. People seemed to really enjoy it. I just thought it wasn't quite what I wanted. But yeah, so the next movie I saw was The Book of Henry. This movie is one of the worst movies of the year. It's unbelievably, unspeakably bad. It is so bad that the director of this movie was fired off of Star Wars Episode 9.
Yeah!
And that's all I can really say about it. This movie is goddamn insane.
The Book of Henry is worth seeing because of how crazy the plot is. And I have not seen it, but I've seen analyses of this film. And I kind of want to see it, although everything has been spoiled for me.
Spoiled, yeah.
But it's so batshit insane with all the things that it's doing and its inconsistencies with just about everything that I think it might be one of those so bad it's good. Would you concur with that?
Oh, definitely. I mean, there are about 3 or 4 huge tonal shifts in the movie that completely change how you have to look at everything.
There's a magic show where a kid tries to bring his dead brother back to life, and then he doesn't, but everybody acts like he did.
Yeah. And a dead boy who died of cancer, who's the smartest boy ever.
And he's the smartest person who ever lived. He was too smart to live, and he died of cancer.
He couldn't fucking outsmart cancer.
Yeah, he's too fucking dumb.
He walks his mother through how to assassinate a police chief.
How to kill Hank from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Hank from Breaking Bad is molesting his daughter. Like,
his stepdaughter, E-Rich.
Whatever.
They're very specific that there's no incest in the film.
All right. Okay.
I haven't seen The Book of Henry, and I would recommend it.
Yeah, you should probably see it. Let's see here. Transformers: The Last Night. These movies shock and appall me because I don't understand how they keep getting made.
Because you keep going to see them.
Yeah, that is very true. So here's the thing. Transformers, the previous one, Age of Extinction with Maki Mak. that is worth seeing if you are blackout drunk and just cannot tell what's going on, because it kind of encourages you to fall asleep during large parts of it and then wake up during action scenes and just be
That
like, what the
movie,
fuck is
watching
going
it
on?
in the theaters, it was almost as painful as Battle of Five Armies, The Hobbit, because
Well,
like, don't
not if you're
watch it. Obviously, don't watch it in a theater. You can't. So thank God. Watch it when you're in an environment where you can pull out your phone. You can get on Facebook. You can go check
yeah.
Twitter. Because being forced to sit there for 3 hours in the theater without pulling out my phone was a nightmare. Sitting through Transformers 4, and
Well,
I
I'll
didn't
tell you
even
about
try to see
Transformers
5.
5.
Okay.
I'll tell you about Transformers 5. It is one of the worst movies I've seen in the theater. It gave me a fucking headache by the end of it. I think that at some point in the movie, Michael Bay gives up on trying to make things make sense. So things just happen at random times. Uh, I will say that Sir Anthony Hopkins is in this movie, and he is hilarious in it. However, that is not enough to save it. This movie is a blight upon humanity. Anyone who profits from this movie, including Michael Bay, should be hung. And this should have been the start of a new Transformers kind of paradigm. They've gotten this big writing room to be like, yeah, we're gonna figure out how shit's gonna go now in the Transformers universe. If this is the fruits of their labor, all of those people are idiots or just the worst people ever. So fuck this movie, fuck Michael Bay, fuck everything.
Stop seeing them,
Transformers.
E.
Oh
Rich. It's
god.
your fault.
Oh god. I still have a headache. Like the headache has not stopped since I saw Transformers last night. All right, my next movie on here, The Beguiled. This was a
Oh, that's the
Sophie
one about
Coppola.
Colin Farrell having sex with 15-year-old girls, right?
It is. It is. So
Yeah, I didn't
Colin
see it, but I wanted to see it.
Farrell. Yeah. So Colin Farrell is a injured, so he's taken in by a basically a schoolhouse of five differently aged Southern women, played by Kirsten Dunst and Nicole Kidman, and the girl from The Neon Demon, and then two very young girls. And it's decent. I mean, it's just very. It is what it is. It does exactly what you think it would do. Nothing more, nothing less. The performances are decent. It's well shot. Like I just wish there was more to it.
Do you
I
get to
just
see the
wish there was
girls'
more to the
tits?
characters. No, you don't.
Oh, I'm not going to see that movie.
I was gonna say it's not worth saying then. All
If they
right.
don't show the tits in the first 2 minutes, what's even the point?
Yeah. I'm very quickly going to start wrapping up here.
Okay.
The Big Sick. Did you see this movie?
Oh, I did see The Big Sick. That's really good.
Yeah, The Big Sick was really good. Yeah, it's a very well told comedy. Kamal Nanjiani plays himself very well. It's just very charming. Ray Romano's in this movie; he's great. Whoever the mother is in this movie is great. Big Sick is a winner. Basically, like if you know anyone would like this movie. It's just
Yeah,
very
and
very
it was a lot actually more dramatic than I thought it would be.
yeah
And there's an unexpected, when you look at the poster, I think, oh yeah, it's gonna be like their love story. It's barely that, because half
yeah
the
no.
movie she's in a coma, and
Mm-hmm.
and then when she wakes up, and like, I'm gonna go into spoilers because it's the Big Sick, but
Okay.
like, what's the name of the Indian guy? He's playing himself, right? Kumail.
Kumail Nanjiani. Yeah.
So Kumail like becomes friends with this girl who he's dating's parents, and like they hate him, but then they start to love him, and he's like there every
Yeah.
day waiting for her to wake up and get better. And then she wakes
Mhm.
up and she wants nothing to do with him, and she's like, "Get the hell out
Yeah.
of here! I don't like you." And it's so heartbreaking. And oh man, it's such a great movie.
Yeah.
and he's very funny in the movie, and it's based on his like real life
No, it is. Yeah.
history, and it's amazing. I'm glad that he told this story.
I'm kind of surprised that it wasn't his wife who was playing her, because I mean the two have good chemistry with each other, and I mean, yeah, it seems weird that he is playing himself and then it's just some chick playing his wife, Zoe Kazan, I believe.
I mean, is his wife an actress?
Yeah.
Oh, she
No, no,
is?
no, no, no. She's not. She's not. She's a
Oh.
writer.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I guess that's why. But all right, so I think I've got three more here. So
All right.
Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. This is a Luc Besson movie. I think you saw the trailer for this a bit.
Yeah, I know about it, and it has.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Dane DeHaan? Who is that?
Yes, it is Dane DeHaan
Okay.
in the lead role.
So let me
woefully
tell you what I've heard.
miscast.
Yeah, let me tell you what I've heard about the movie, and you can tell me
All
if it's
right,
right. So the
all right.
two leads have no chemistry, and they were
Uh
both
huh.
miscast, and they should have been cast as much cooler characters for
Uh huh.
who they're supposed to be. But also that the opening sequence is so amazing that every person needs to see it. Is that true?
Every person needs to see the opening sequence, not the whole movie.
That's what I
The
said.
whole, yeah, no, exactly, yeah. The opening sequence is fucking gorgeous.
What
It's
is it?
spectacle, basically. So there's a piece of technology in the movie that allows people to see things that aren't there and interact with things that aren't there. So it's basically the main character running through an empty place that is also at the same time full of like it's basically a marketplace. It's an alien marketplace on an alien world, and is able to basically jump between the like uninhabited place and the super infested place, like between. It's hard to explain, but it's fucking great. If the whole movie had been something like that, it would be incredible. The movie is a bore. There's a lot of interesting things happening in it, but it's punctuated by 30-minute long spans of nothing fucking happening and nobody caring about anything that does happen. So, fuck a lot of this movie, but a lot of it is a lot of fun. So, if somebody makes a super cut of about 45 to an hour long minutes of the movie, I'd say see that, but do not see this 2 hour and 20 long movie. Uh, Not worth it.
Okay.
Very disappointing. The other movie I saw is called Ingrid Goes West. Have you heard of this one?
Oh, my boy Dan Merle, my life
Ooh.
model. He said that the movie's
Yeah.
amazing and that I need to go see it.
Yeah,
But
it
then
is
it
very
was
good.
out of theaters by the time I was recommended to see it. So maybe I'll go onto my Terrarium TV app and give it a watch.
Yeah, do that. So Ingrid Goes West is a dark comedy, I guess you could call it. A drama, maybe, starring the love of my life, Aubrey Plaza. Um,
Oh,
Yeah, and it also stars the other love of my life, Elizabeth Olsen. But yeah, this is a movie about
oh,
a social media addict who stalks this promoter woman who is basically just one of these super popular people who goes around and takes pictures of food and places they go and everything. And this Aubrey Plaza, the part she plays, she is just fucking insane. And Aubrey Plaza does a great job of envisioning that. She's very sad as well. Like it's not that
unrelatable.
it's not that there's any it's not that there's anything sad about her or what happened to her, but she's just fucking psychotic, and that is very sad. And it's just a very well done movie. Like it's not going to win any awards, but it's probably going to be underseen and underappreciated. So I think it's important to say this is a pretty good movie. It definitely does what it's aiming to do. Great performance for Aubrey Plaza. I'd say check it out.
And let me guess what your final movie is.
Go ahead.
Did you see The Florida Project?
No, I did
Oh,
not. I want
okay.
to see that movie.
Yeah, so do I. Okay, what's your last movie?
The last movie I saw, I probably saw it 3 or 4 weeks ago, was called The Killing of the Sacred Deer.
Oh,
Uh,
my brother watched that while I was upstairs editing videos. So I saw
okay.
I saw 8 seconds of the film.
Yeah, so this movie is made by Yorgos Lanthimos, and he sounds Greek as fuck, but he's a director. He directed a movie called The Lobster, which I really liked. That was a couple years ago, and he's returned with Carl Farrell to make Killing the Sacred Deer. This movie is fucking weird. Everyone talks in a very stilted, very odd way the entire fucking time. It's about a doctor who accidentally kills one of his patients. I mean, he's not trying to kill the guy, but he accidentally dies on the table. And then for some reason, the crazy son of his, who I think was the guy from Dunkirk, who who
I couldn't tell you.
the guy who dies in Dunkirk.
That's like all
The,
of them.
yeah. The guy on the civilian ship, whatever the fuck. He starts killing his family, Colin Farrell's family. They first lose their ability to walk, they become crippled, and they start to bleed from the eyes, and then they fucking die. And
Oh,
this
it's the
movie is
Mr. Anime story.
fucking insane. Like, I didn't really like it that much, but I think it was definitely interesting, and I wouldn't say worth watching, but I don't know how to recommend this because I didn't particularly like it, but I liked what it was doing.
Well, obviously,
just
it's for
didn't.
a very specific type of audience, and if
Yeah, it's a very arty movie.
you know who you are.
But it's based on a Greek tragedy, and I think that's why what he was going for is it's basically a modern update of a Greek tragedy, and that's why it didn't really work for me. It just never felt like there was enough going on about it. It was definitely interesting. It was definitely crazily shot. All the actors are able to put on the fucking weird dialogue that this guy has written. Like everybody talks like they have no emotion whatsoever, and so they're saying things like they should have emotion in their voices, but they just have completely emotionless voices. It's a weird movie. If you like art house stuff, if you like Colin Farrell, if you liked The Lobster, you'll probably like this, just because it's fucking as weird as that movie is. So yeah,
Well,
there we go.
Erich, with that, we've done a motion picture length review of all the movies we saw in 2017. Holy shit, how many did we do tonight? Like at least 40 or 50 movies, right? We just plowed through a whole bunch. I'm gonna have to count those up so I can advertise it in the thumbnail, even though I'm probably not going to. Because I'll be damned if I'm gonna listen back to this shit for an hour and a half.
Yeah, shit, man. How many part pieces are you gonna chop this into?
Oh, this is just gonna be one big video.
Oh shit! All right.
There's no way I'm putting effort into all this. All the effort I put in is the last hour and a half of talking.
Yeah, because there's no real place to cut it. Like,
yeah, there's not.
Yeah.
So hey, everybody, thanks for sticking around this long. If you did, if somebody wants,
you're a loser.
If somebody in the comments wants to tell me the movies we reviewed and give me the timestamps for them, I will tell Erich to send you $10 on PayPal. So
and I won't do it.
That's why you got fourth place in the co-host sidekick.
Yeah.
Because you won't give people the money. Asperger, he gave people money. Jumpkey, he didn't give people shit, but he won anyway. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, everybody, we'll see you next time for our top 10 favorite films of 2017. And then we'll go back to reviewing movies on an individual basis.
Mm-hmm.
For Is It Kino? I have been MUMKEY Jones on our longest episode ever.
Fuck you, Asperger. Die in hell.
He didn't even win.
He didn't win, but I can't tell a stuffed animal to go to hell.
We'll see you next time, folks.
Bye.